Ready to learn if Kartra is the right tool for you? In this comprehensive review, I will tell you all about Kartra, the good, the bad, and the ugly. By the end of the video, you will have enough clarity to decide if you should give Kartra a try. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I post a new video about funnel building advice. I have been building profitable sales funnels in Kartra for me and my clients since 2018, so I know everything about Kartra. I help hundreds of people to decide if Kartra was the right tool for them, and now I want to do the same for you. I am going to explain all the features Kartra has to offer one by one, so that you can determine if they will serve your business, okay? Let's do this.
Kartra Checkouts. You can create this kind of beautiful checkouts right away in Kartra very easily. So in order to do that, in order to get one of these pre-built checkouts for you, you need to configure a product. So inside Kartra, you need to go to the product section and then just configure it. Like you need to add a picture, the name, a description. You need to choose what kind of payment processors you want to use, either PayPal or credit card, or sometimes both, if you want to give access to both options to your people. Then you just need to select the pricing. Like you can have different pricing structures, like one time and recurring payment, installments, and those kind of things. You can even do initial payment, like when you want to do trials and those kind of things. The only thing is that when using recurrent payment on installments, you need to make sure it is configured as you desire. This one, recurring installments, doesn't work with PayPal. But other than that, you can use credit card or PayPal in any option. You can do shipping, taxes, refunds if you need to. You can choose the page that you want people to see after they purchase or finish the transaction. In the checkout, you can choose to have it out, like using the default Kartra checkout page, which is what I'm showing you right now, or you can choose to use it inside your website, for instance, or inside your funnel pages. You can have a logo, you can use help desk, you can use the different forms that you may want. You can add or delete different forms, fields, sorry. You can have product quantity if you need to, if you're selling physical products, for instance. The express checkout is basically if you want to do an upsell. You can do tagging for cart abandonment. You have terms and conditions. You have bump offer. So bump offer is basically an offer you show people right when they are purchasing something from you. The only issue with bump offers is that they don't work with PayPal inside Kartra. So that is not a good thing. Then the post sale is what happens after they purchase. You can tag your people for segmentation. For instance, if you want to offer them something else in the future, you can select what you want to fulfill directly in Kartra. It could be a membership in Kartra, it could be a downloadable file, or you may want to do it in a different way. So you say nothing. You can have advanced automations if you need to. And finally, you define if you want affiliates to promote this product for you. So then once it's done, this is let me show you how quickly you can just get the link. Once your product is fully configured, you can just come here and go on checkout, and then you can even change the name, select your own custom domain, and away you go. There you have it. This is a Kartra checkout page. Kartra Pages. You can build very beautiful pages inside Kartra, either for your website or for your funnels. Like the great thing about Kartra is that it's very user friendly, and you can create pretty much anything you want. You can add videos, text, images, buttons like call to actions, and everything that works inside Kartra, you can make it work inside your page. And they are fully responsive, mobile responsive. What it means is that you don't need to code, or you don't need to create specific pages for tablets or cell phones. Like Kartra will do it for you. You just create your page and it will adapt itself depending on the size of the device that you are using. Now, to create a page, you need a builder, And one of the nice things about it is that you can start either from scratch if you know what you're doing, or you can start from a template. Like there are tons of templates directly inside Kartra, and you can basically pick and choose whatever you want. They even give you some kind of um, idea or options on what they have, like checkout pages, 404 pages, upsell pages, membership logins, and so on and so forth. So this is all you have. So let's say you want to do a long form sales page. You find one that you like. Let's say I like this one. You just select it and launch it. Then, oh, sorry, you need a name. So let's say sales page. You need a category and you need a site. Let's say nothing for now. So you can just take a look and see how it looks in the inside. So then right away, you already have something pre-built for you. But then you can do as much as you need depending on your style. So you may want to add some sections. So the way Kartra works is the whole thing is called a page. Then the page is divided in sections. So this one row is a section. This one down here is another section. It's all here. Well, this is all black, so it's kind of hard to see. So let me change a color of one of those so you can notice the difference. So let's say this is a white. Okay, so this section is white, then this next section is black. So let's do this one white again so you can see what I mean by different sections. So there we go. So we have one section here, one section here, one section here. You could add pre-built sections if you wanted to, like let's say, oh, I want a call to action section. So Kartra has pre-built sections as well. You don't need to have the whole page if you don't want to. You can just drag and drop. That is how it works. And then you need to find where you want to place it, where it says drop here, and it will do it for you. Some people like this, some people don't like it because, again, you need to drag and drop and need to wait for the place. Same thing with components. Let's say I want to add a image somewhere. You need to drag and drop it, and you need to wait until those orange lines turn green, and that means you're ready to drop it. Some people find that frustrating, but for me, it's just easy to use. One of the things that is not that good about the page builder is that they depend a lot on cookies. Well, actually, most of the Kartra system depends on cookies. They do have a cooking system. They ask people to save cookies preferences, but that's a huge disadvantage. But nowadays, it's for any kind of builder, basically. So there you have it. This is how Kartra pages work, all you can do with them, and how easily you can modify it. You can change the colors, obviously, you can change the text and all that. It's very easy to do. Okay, Kartra Forms. So Kartra Forms is how you capture leads in your system, like inside Kartra. And the way it works is basically you ask for email address, name, and whatever else you need from people. And after they do that, after they submit, they will see a thank you page or a confirmation page. It may look something like this. Like this. This is an example for a lead magnet, for instance, and you may ask people for their name, email address. In this case, I'm using something called a captcha code, so to avoid robots or false email addresses. And then people just click on the link. And as you can see, you can just pretty much build any page you want and just add the form on the page. So the form gives you a lot of options. So let me show you a few. So what I like about it is that you can pretty much use any fields if you want to. Like you can change or add, or you can make it mandatory, you can make it optional. Then you can choose if you want to use single opt-in or double opt-in. Basically, the difference is single opt-in, people are subscribed right away. Double opt-in means that people need to go to their email and check, click a link saying, yes, I subscribed. And then you can show them whatever success page you want. You can configure an email to be sent right away after they fill out the form. You can tag people, subscribe people to list, and do sequences, run automation. So you have a bunch of options in here. And then at the end, you need to say if you're going to use your form inside a Kartra page or your Kartra video. Yes, you can do forms on videos as well. Or if you want to embed your form on another system like Squarespace or WordPress or something like that. So you have a lot of versatility here. I do use it on my own Kartra pages, so that's why when you come here and see the forms, it says single opt-in and Kartra pages or videos, like where you're using your form. Okay, Kartra leads. In Kartra, you can see the list of all your leads, like all your database. Basically, in Kartra, a lead is any person who has an email address inside, and you can have pretty much every detail about them by just clicking on their name, and you can have the whole history, whatever they did, where they are, like if they purchased something, any tax they may have, any communication that you send them, memberships, everything that they have done inside your system. You can have it all in one place. You can manually add tags, you can manually add comments. Like a CRM, you can add notes about a person. You can see the whole history of what happened. You can delete your leads in here, you can add more, you can manually add leads, you can import leads from different sources. The not that nice thing about leads in Kartra, one of them is that they may blacklist your leads if they seem like, if Kartra thinks the lead is suspicious, which is a good thing at the end for everybody else. But some in some cases they make mistakes, and they may blacklist a client, for instance, someone who purchased something, and that's not a good thing. The other, I wouldn't say issue, but it takes long to get your leads imported from a different system, and that is because they approve, like they manually review and approve your leads. You need to send them your leads and tell them where you got them. It's a whole process. It's not that simple, but at the end it's good for everybody. Okay, another great feature that Kartra has is Kartra email. With Kartra email, you can send pretty much any email and any quantity, obviously depending on the plan that you are, and it does it very efficiently. And there are a couple of main type of emails inside Kartra. One of them is called the broadcast, and another one is the sequence. So broadcast is basically anything that you want to send once. It's one time only, and it doesn't work automatically, in the sense that it doesn't work in an evergreen fashion. It only works when you set it up to be sent. So you just need to go and say, okay, I want to send it from my account. I want to send it for this many people or to this many people. You can choose, pick and choose your filters. You may don't want to have this broadcast to everyone. Maybe you want to have this only for people who have a specific task and those kind of things. And then you obviously build your email. Kartra has two types of emails. One is the basic, which is just you type whatever you want to type. And then it also has a advanced option, which basically means or looks like a website, if you want to see, or looks more like graphic design. So you have templates, like Kartra has already some templates you can use. You just need to drag and drop the template and then use it, edit it as you need. And that's the advanced option. If you are more like a regular emailer, like you only want text, you can just choose text. You can use A/B testing if you need to. Then you can run automations on your emails if you need it. And at the end, you need to say if you want to send it right away, if you want to schedule it for later, or if you want to save it as a draft. And something very powerful is the email sequence. So Kartra sends emails automatically based on actions or based on dates, and that is done through email sequences. So this is an example of an email sequence where you can have a starting rule is when the sequence will start. You can have delays, you can have split options, like if something happens, do this, if something didn't happen, do this, something else differently. And obviously you can just finish or unsubscribe people from the sequence, and this is everything you can do. You can add tags, you can send SMS inside the sequence, you can send more emails, and You can do waits and obviously complete. You can even do subsequences, which is a sequence inside a sequence. And all of that can happen automatically for you, depending on what people did or didn't do. Okay, Kartra membership. Kartra membership is what Kartra call what most people know as online courses. So basically, training, a place to host your videos, your text, images, downloadables. Kartra just call them memberships. It doesn't mean that you need to charge as a membership, like a monthly recurrent payment. You can charge one time and that's it. The area is called membership. What I really like about the membership area is that you can pretty much customize a lot. Like you can add text, you can add images, you can add videos, buttons, dividers. You can see here download buttons, resources. You can have your opt-in forms. So the same opt-in forms that you have for pages, the checkout forms as well. You can have calendars, surveys. So anything that Kartra uses, you can use inside a membership. So again, being a all-in-one tool, it has everything integrated, and you can use everything all together in your membership area as well in your courses. So for instance, you may have a course and you may want to promote another course. You can just use a checkout form and people can purchase directly inside your training. The other thing that I love about this is that you can pretty much build your content once and then choose the layout and pick and choose whatever layout you want, and very quickly. Like you don't need to redo your content. Like you can say, I want this sidebar to be at the right, maybe no, I want it to be at the left, or maybe I want two sidebars, one at the left, one at the right. And then after you decide that, you can say, I want to have my menu on the left. So I want to see how it looks. You just so save and preview. And then you see, okay, the menu looks like this, like a scroll down and all the menus or sub menus underneath and the content in the middle and the bar at the right. Or you may say, let's see how it looks if I have it as a typical website where the menu is at the top. So you just do save and preview, and Kartra does it for you. So the content is the same, it just changes the layout. So once again, you didn't need to do anything, just choose the right layout that you wanted. Or you can say, you know what, I want this one. It's also at the top, but it doesn't have the bar in the middle. Like this one has like the menu bar at the middle, like the content is overlapping the bar, but in this case the content is underneath the bar, so you may like this option better. So then you can just say, oh, I want this one, or no, I want this one, and that's pretty much it. You can just pick and choose, and you can change it anytime, or you can even say, you know what, I don't like this color anymore, so I want to use a different one, and you can just pick and choose a different color, and that's pretty much it. So everything else is already done, so it's very easy to play around. The one thing that is not that good with Kartra memberships, I found that some of my clients had a hard time when people log in. And what I noticed is that that happens when you use a custom domain and people have cookies blocked. So once again, Kartra relies a lot on cookies. So you may want to educate your customers or your clients or your students that they need to have cookies enabled in order for your system to work. In this case, in order for your membership to work correctly or to work better.
Let me make a pause for a moment. What do you think about Kartra so far? Do you think it will work for you? Let me know in the comments.
Okay, Kartra calendars. So Kartra has calendars built in again as part of its all-in-one platform, which you can use in any of your pages or on a separate page, or you can even embed it on a separate website if you have one. So they show you, or they give you four options for calendar. So you can use what they call the consultant model, which is basically people can book a time in your calendar to talk with you. You can have recurrent class. It's like, I don't know, maybe you have like an English class training and you show people how, or you teach people how to speak in English, and you do it every day from whatever time to whatever time. You may have a gym model, which is something more like, okay, you decide when people can subscribe to the calendar, and then a group of people or one person can subscribe. The live event is basically the same idea, like, but you say, okay, this is only going to happen this time, this date, and people can subscribe. So the main difference between these two models here and these two models here is those ones are for just one person. So you define the time and the dates that you're available, but once someone books, then those are not available for anybody else. And these two, the gym and the live event, they are for multiple people, like when you have to have groups instead of just one person. So this is an example of a what they call the consultant model, the one on top here, which I show when I am available, like what kind of session it is, and people can pick and choose the date and the time in their own time zone, by the way. And you can even add questions before they fill out the form for you. Like you can ask them qualifying questions if you want, or like filtering questions if you want, and then they can just book the time with you. So that's how Kartra works. Kartra Calendar works. One of the not so nice things about Kartra Calendar is that it depends on cookies. Well, at least it used to. Last time I talked with Kartra support, they told me that they fix it. However, just to be safe, I usually use the Kartra subdomain when I use the calendar. You can use the calendar using your own subdomain, but I would strongly recommend that you test it out just in case to make sure it's still working well and not having issues with cookies. But if you want to be sure, just use the Kartra subdomain and it will work for sure. Okay, Kartra funnels and campaigns. So in Kartra, you create your funnels yourself, which gives you a bunch of flexibility, meaning you need pages, which will be the funnel. And the way you connect the pages or the flow of the pages is using forms or using call to action with buttons or using product checkouts. And you have full control over it. Like you can pick and choose how to do and what to do. When it comes to campaigns, this is a feature that Kartra has that is called My Campaigns, that most people use it to share their funnels or their pages with other people. Like if you sell templates, for instance, or if you're working with a client, this is what I do with my clients. For instance, I build the stuff in my account and then I share it with them once it's done. Here you can choose the assets, what you want to share. So all the pages, for instance, you may have tags, you may have forms, you may have products. So whatever you do, since everything is integrated, you need to make sure you are sharing everything that you need for your funnel or for your campaign. Some people, again, use it internally just for organizational purposes. So they have it in their own accounts, but not for sharing, just for them to know what they are using in each different campaigns. Okay, Kartra videos. Kartra can host videos for you so that you can have them again all in one place. The great thing about having your videos inside Kartra is that you can use them to show call to actions, for instance. You can use it to tag people, and that is very useful if you're doing something like a webinar funnel, for instance. So let me show you one of the videos here. So where you can, well, you can choose pretty much a lot of stuff. Like you can do things like changing the thumbnail. They'll call it a splash image in here. You can add a watermark if you want to. You can add closed captions, and you can do a bunch of stuff like showing controls or not, like letting people to to use the controls or to change the speed. It can even autoplay, but if it autoplays, it asks you to use it muted because some browsers don't allow autoplay. You can add call to actions like buttons, for instance, or you can add forms, or you can add different things at different stages, and you can say what you want it to happen and when. Like you can say caption, banners, opt-ins, and those kind of things. You can even do social unlock, which means they need to share before they can keep watching. You can tag your leads based on how long they watch, and you can choose the tag. You can have several tags Like if it is a webinar funnel, for instance, you can say, okay, if people watch so much of the video, it means they watch the pitch or not. You can do playlists if you want to, and obviously you can have your analytics to see what happened with your videos and how was the engagement and all those kind of things. Okay, Kartra Helpdesk. Basically, what Kartra allows you to do is to show a pop-up like this, telling people that you're available, like you have something to help them. So you can customize this image, the name, the message that you see here, and you can even change this if you want to. Like some people don't like this, so they can just click here and it will disappear. But once they click on need help, they will see the options to either create a new ticket, do live chat, do phone calls, whatever you have configured. Like in this case, I have the live chat configured, and they can choose the department that they want to talk about, like either refunds or maybe they want to talk with all tickets. So they need to give you name, email address and name, and they can start the chat right there. Or they can create a new ticket if they prefer to have that. And all the tickets are saved. So if people come in the future, they can log in and see the whole list of tickets that they have created. They can see the orders that they have purchased from you. And if you enable, they can even ask for refunds or cancellations and all those kind of things directly in the help desk area. So when you are in Kartra, you can basically say, hey, you know what? I want my support channels to be tickets, phone, live chat, and even Skype. You can pick and choose what you want. You can create your support departments, and then you just configure everything else. You can even have a wiki if you want to. You do the self-billing section if you want it to display or not, so that's up to you. And then you can add those people as leads if you want to as well. So again, it's everything integrated, and you can have the help desk inside your pages. You can have a specific help desk page if you want to as well. Kartra surveys. So Kartra has two models for surveys. One is the traditional one, which basically means you can ask your leads questions you want to know about them, like if you want to know them better. Or you can do a scored quiz, which basically means that you can take like an exam when they need to know, they need to show that they know something, like they need to show their knowledge. The Kartra survey builder looks like this, where you can have questions and then you can have the success pages. It could be either a page or just a message that you can show. So it's up to you what you want to show here at the success area. But the main thing is that you can choose any kind of question. Basically, you can do text and image. You can do it on the image at the top or the image at the side, and you can do videos, so that when you ask your question, you have different ways to ask them. And obviously, you can have any kind of different answers, like binaries or text options, like just single option or multiple options. They can write stuff, or they can pick and choose images. And then one of the very interesting things here is that you can do branch or path, what they call them, or it could be linear. Like linear is more like the typical survey where they just answer question by question. But what you can do with paths or branched path is that you can say if they answer this one for question one, then show them question two. But if they answer the second option for question one, then go directly to success number one. So you can create this kind of path. So if they show question two, for instance, here you can say, okay, depending on if they do true or false on question two, show them a different success page. That works if you're doing quiz funnels, for instance, where you ask people and depending on what they answer, you want to show them different success pages or different results. Now, this can become very, very difficult if you have a bunch of questions with a bunch of options. You will need to map it out first. It's not very easy to do, but it's doable. And then the other option is just the scored one, where you ask your questions and then you need to say which one is the correct answer. So depending on where the correct answers are, and then at the end you just say, okay, I want to show this page for certain number of percentage, like how much or how many right answers they had. Let's say you're doing some kind of a test where you need to do pass or fail. So if they answer 70% or more, then it will be pass. If they answer 70% or less, then they will be like you need to retake the quiz or something like that. So that's where when you will use this graded quiz. So those are the two types of quiz that you can use in Kartra. Kartra affiliates. So Kartra allows you to have people helping you sell your products, and in return you can pay them a commission. So you need to make some settings about how you want to manage your affiliate program inside your account. So you can choose if you want to approve them manually. You can do different type of payments, and obviously you can choose if you want to do like your whole account or just product by product. So you can say if you want people to promote it in that way. The thing is, in Kartra, once they become your affiliates, when you approve someone to be your affiliate, they will see all the offers that you have. But they may see them as zero commissions if they are not allowed to promote that product, but they will see every single product that you have. You can have questions like when you ask them to sign up to be your affiliate. Now, Kartra basically helps you keep track of what's going on, like how much people have made for you, like what is it in reserve, meaning that you still are in the waiting period, like in the guarantee period or something like that. So you don't have to pay this money yet. And the due it means that you already need to pay to your affiliates. And the paid option is how much you have paid to them. Now, Kartra only helps you track how much money you owe. It doesn't actually pay for you. You can only mark as paid in here. You can say, hey, I already paid, but you need to find a way to pay to your affiliates. Most people use PayPal mass payment, for instance, because it's easy. You can just export a list from here and pay them all at once. But you can do bank transfers or you can do PayPal transfers directly. Like you can pay in any way you want, depending on how many affiliates you have. So Kartra will help you to know how much money you're making from each person, how much you owe to each person, to each of your affiliates, but it won't actually pay for you. That's something you will need to do manually. And that is how Kartra affiliate works.
Need ideas to use sales funnels in your online business? Download my guide to help you build a funnel that brings leads and clients day after day. Find the link below in the description. And make sure to watch this video on how to make sales even during your Kartra trial. Link is also in the description below. Bye for now. See you next time.